Achieve total commerce by selling everywhere your customers are, whenever they want to shop. Linworks connects and automates your e-commerce operations into one central platform, giving you total control over your business so you can capture every sale. With Linworks, one e-commerce platform, total commerce control. Learn more at linworks.com.
Welcome to Total Retail Talks, your podcast channel for retail knowledge.
Hello, and welcome to this episode of Total Retail Talks. I'm Joe Keenan, editor-in-chief of Total Retail. I am joined on today's episode by Natalie Hurst, who is the Director of Customer Success at Nuuly. We're going to be discussing Nuuly's relationship with Intercom and its use of that customer communication platform and automation tools, and how it's bettering the customer experience for Nuuly's customers. So thanks for joining me today, Natalie.
Thanks for having me, Joe. I really appreciate it.
So to get us started, I want you to kind of give a brief overview for our audience about Nuuly to start, and then you could follow that up with telling us a little bit about your specific role with the brand.
Yeah, absolutely. So Nuuly is a curated destination from the Urban Outfitters family of brands for anyone who loves fashion and is exploring how to wear, buy, and sell it in ways that are gentler on the planet. So not to mention their wallets, right? So customers can choose to engage with the Nuuly brand in a couple different ways. We just launched Nuuly Thrift, which is our buying and selling secondhand platform. We have a peer-to-peer marketplace called Resale Marketplace, and through Nuuly Rent, which we'll talk a lot about today. But essentially what it is $88 monthly clothing subscription. And we offer thousands of styles for more than 300 designers and temporary brands.
That was a great overview of the brand. And now tell us a little bit about your particular role.
Yeah, as the Director of Customer Success, my role is to lead my team of associates, supervisors, and managers in creating a seamless rental experience for our customers, no matter what stage of the rental process they're in. The idea for us of customer success at Nuuly is kind of a unique one. Rather than viewing our interactions with customers as one-off and transactional, we've created a much more relationship-based experience. We know that excellent customer service has the power to attract and retain customers who may be on the fence about the rental experience as a whole. We know that offering excellent customer service relies heavily on open communication within the company too. So one of the things that we are extremely passionate about is ensuring all members of the Nuuly team understand what our customers are talking about and working closely at creating the perfect Nuuly experience for them. The truly amazing thing that we have created at Nuuly is that startup mentality that our entire team has. Everyone wants to know what the customer is saying and is willing to work together to create what that customer wants.
So that's provides some good perspective for the audience. I want to go back kind of to the early days of Nuuly. It's a young brand you mentioned as part of the Urban Outfitters family of brands. Take us back as a company and a brand that was launched, shortly before the start of the pandemic. Let's look in the last, 2 years almost at this point, that kind of talk about the customer success challenges that have presented themselves for Nuuly.
Yeah, so it's been an incredible time to launch a company, right? We launched in July of 2019, and since then, it's been an incredible whirlwind of both huge successes, but also those external obstacles that we continue to learn from. Because my team is on the forefront of customer feedback, it's been really important for us to be able to track sentiment, assess when issues seem to be arising, and then escalate those issues to our amazing product and engineering teams to act. When we were in the early stages of planning and building the brand pre-launch, we really tried our best to anticipate what could go wrong and get ahead of it. We really had a lot that we had planned and anticipated for. That said, of course, who knew we'd be faced with a global pandemic in our first year? So once COVID hit, we really had to reevaluate all of our existing policies, procedures, and system capabilities so that we could ensure our customers were treated with empathy going into this incredibly difficult time. Obviously, our business's bottom line is super important, but for this specific experience that we're all living through together, the most important thing was empathy, respect, and making sure Nuuly was not on the list of things our customers had to worry about. During that time, especially in the beginning months, I saw horror stories of retailers who were really strict about sticking to existing policies about returns or refunds, with responses like, sorry, you can't return. Sorry,
Yeah.
we're not going to be flexible. And after hearing these stories and the backlash afterwards, we knew that that was 100% the approach we did not want to take. At the start of the pandemic, customers would email us in a panic. They had their Nuuly at home. It was coming up to their billing date. UPS was closed. UPS wasn't picking up packages, and they just didn't know what to do. So it was really learning for us how to best accommodate our customers in that really trying time that I really think helped us retain a lot of those customers.
Yeah, that's a great point. Now, I'm interested from your team's perspective, Natalie, as well. Did you have to go through some, obviously you can't prepare for a global pandemic and the impact that's going to have on a business and specifically customer support and success. Tell us, was there like additional trainings that your customer success team had to go through, and were they given, to your point, in being able to be flexible and kind of have the latitude to make some decisions on their own rather than following like, we set this policy and it's in stone and you can't deviate from this? Tell us a little bit about how you've kind of had to be agile and flexible with your customer success team.
Yeah, that's a great question. And I have to say that we were very much in the benefit that my mentality for my team is you do what's best by the customer within reason. If it's something that we are able to do, just do it. My team, we have a small but mighty team. They have full autonomy to make their own decisions when it comes to appeasing customers. So luckily there wasn't too much training that we had to go to when it came to thinking about the customer first.
Yeah.
I have a pretty thorough interview process for my team as well, that I know that the people who are joining my team are empathetic, are going to do what's right by the customer. A lot of them have retail experience. So making sure that they have that understanding of just be kind. At the end of the day, that's what we all kind of need in this world that we exist in. And we want customers to have that feeling about our brand as well. So luckily, no training involved with, how to be nice to people and how to kind of go above and beyond. Most of it was when we got slammed with interactions in March and April, how do we time manage and how do we prioritize certain interactions over others, which I know we'll get to it later, but Intercom was incredibly helpful with.
Yeah. And I like the way you've kind of simplified it, Natalie. At the end of the day, use your own judgment. You've hired the right people. Hopefully you've trusted that they're able to do their jobs effectively, and, be kind. It's kind of, it's as simple as that. And, treat customers how you as yourself as a customer would like to be treated. So that kind of leads into my next question in terms of, how customer success teams and how your team can kind of factor into Nuuly's overall approach to building these stronger relationships with your customers. Tell us what you've seen there.
Yeah, so like I mentioned earlier, our whole company has very much this startup mentality, even though we are in this bigger family of brands. But with that comes the passion and constant support of the customer and customer success team. One of the things that has been incredibly helpful, particularly through this partnership with Intercom, has been their easy to use UX. It's super easy for all of our employees, whether they're in engineering, analytics, marketing, to jump in times that we are experiencing heavy volumes to take care of our customers. So for example, our first holiday, really didn't know what to expect. We had just launched in July. We're not traditional retail, so didn't really think that we would be experiencing as heavy volumes that we ended up experiencing.
Yeah.
So we had our entire marketing organization jump in, help answer our customers' questions about shipping, returns, promotions. So much so that one of our senior members on the marketing team was our top performer for quite a number of days. But it's moments like those where you really realize how important those relationships with our customers truly are, not only to my team, since that's our main job, but to the entire Nuuly organization as a whole. Now, our focus is always making sure our associates are focused on building lasting relationships with our customers, creating a connection with the brand as a whole, rather than, like I said earlier, that quick transactional moment. Because we're a subscription business model, month-to-month retention is hugely important, more so than your traditional retailer. So we know that customers need that extra connection to a brand, its people, and its mission to come back month over month. Our associates are encouraged to use their own voices, make connections. Again, they're autonomous in being able to make their own decisions, and really create that connection with the customer on a personal level. A customer isn't always going to get what they want out of our conversation. But again, going back to respect and empathy, finding alternative solutions and sometimes working together is a great way to keep them engaged. So one of the other things that we've really been passionate about as well is being proactive. Intercom has a great tool to email out customers, whether it's one-on-one or a large group of customers. So if we see a customer maybe isn't using their month-to-month subscription like they should, but they're still being charged, there are times that we'll reach out and just kind of nudge them or check in to see what they want to do. The last thing we want to do is for 12 months to come about and us to have to get an angry interaction out of it. So as more as we can do outreach to our customers, the better relationship we're going to have.
Yeah, and I would imagine, as a digital brand that is not in brick and mortar, or at least doesn't have owned brick and mortar stores, these customer success team members are kind of the face of the brand. They're having these conversations that, that's the interaction your customers are knowing with your brand, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I really encourage my team to think outside of the box too. Just using words and being kind is one thing, but really following it up with action is incredibly important. And again, back to that outbound messaging tool that Intercom has, it's given us the ability to really reach out to large number of customers, whether it's, flooding in Louisiana or customers who are affected by the fires in California. We know that, again, their Nuuly doesn't need to be their top priority. So reaching out to them saying, hey, you're in this area that's affected. We're going to pause your account. Don't worry about us. Focus on your family, focus on your home, and making sure the customer understands we'll be here when you're ready to come back.
So you've alluded to it, the relationship that Nuuly has with Intercom. So let's talk a little bit about that kind of partnership. Nuuly, Intercom rather, customer communication platform and automation tools. Tell us a little bit about how you're working together, and the benefit that Nuuly has seen from that relationship.
So the biggest thing for Intercom for us has been automation, creating a tool that we can use to answer customers on the spot without having to touch our team members has been incredibly important. As we continue to learn the types of questions customers are asking, we've set up this Intercom resolution bot, or if you visit Nuuly.com, we affectionately call it ChatCat, to respond to and resolve policy-driven questions. So my team can focus and respond to more of the complicated interactions. So for instance, taking a look at the last 12 weeks, using this resolution bot has saved over 200 teammate hours. So that's another person or so that we would have had to hire and bring on to respond to those customers. And that's over 1,000 interactions on the spot. So training the resolution bot is a constant process. We're checking in all the time, making sure that it has the responses and education that it needs. But it's really very little work, a click of a button, and it already understands enough questions to have a resolution rate of just under 25%.
Yeah, so it's not only reducing man hours, so cost savings there, but it's improving the experience, I would imagine, for your customers if they're able to quickly and easily get the answers to their questions that they may have, right?
Exactly. So we obviously have our FAQ page, but if the customer doesn't want to jump over there and look for the answer that they're looking for, They can just ask ChatCat and he'll give them the response that they're looking for.
So let's talk a little bit about the impact that Nuuly has seen in regards to its customer satisfaction rates and as a result of its working with Intercom, and how you're trying to create those meaningful relationships with customers so that, again, to your point, they're more likely to come back to the brand as a subscription-based business. Kind of getting that repeat month-over-month rollover is so critical to the brand's success. Tell us a little about kind of the impact Nuuly has seen in terms of customer satisfaction.
My team is probably so sick of hearing me say it's quality over quantity. For the way that we are set up as a brand, it's really important that our customers are happy, not that our team are hitting exorbitant number of interactions per day. So we've really made it easy for customers to get a hold of us through a lot of different ways. They can request a call back. They can request an email back. They can live chat right through the website, or they have the ability to email in. So they don't have to hunt down the support team. We've already made the process free of frustration off the bat. So they're going into the interaction with a positive feeling either way. This has really proven to set the tone of the interactions positively. Giving our associates on-the-spot feedback at the end of each and every interaction through a satisfaction survey that Intercom easily provides already out of the box. Not only does the associate have that feedback on the spot, but their supervisor also does. So if there is the need for on-the-spot coaching, that is readily available for us to be able to grab quickly and have that conversation. That said, our all-time high satisfaction is well over 97%. So luckily, it's mostly coaching in the positive realm versus constructive criticism for our team.
Right.
But our amazing team of associates, they continue to stay positive through that positive reinforcement as well.
So that takes me to my final question, Natalie, in terms of just kind of, we've talked a little bit about evolving consumer needs. A lot has changed, obviously, in the last, 2 years. So tell us a little bit about what Nuuly is doing to prepare its customer success teams and really the organization as a whole to better serve its customers and, trying to keep pace or even remain ahead of what your customers' needs and wants may be.
For sure. So we have focused since the launch of Nuuly on being really in tune with our customers and their wants and for the Nuuly experience. That will always continue to remain the goal for our team looking ahead. On a monthly basis, our insights analytics, along with myself, host a retrospective insight session. So we walk the entire organization through our customers' experiences, what they've been through the last month, what feedback we've gotten, not only the good, but the bad and the in-between. We gather that information from a variety of platforms. So through interactions, from satisfaction surveys from our team, but from also different surveys that the customer has the opportunity to fill out throughout their Nuuly life cycle on social and, of course, their on-site behavior. This helps us better understand their wants and needs, no matter what stage of the Nuuly experience they are in. So definitely on the forefront for my team will be that automation, making sure our customers don't have to wait in a queue to talk to us, don't have to wait 24 hours to get an email back, but they're able to get their response right on at the moment through ChatCat.
Great. Well, I want to take this opportunity to thank Natalie Hurst, the Director of Customer Success at Nuuly, for joining us on today's episode of Total Retail Talks, telling us a little bit about the work her and her team are doing to create better customer experiences and greater customer satisfaction for the Nuuly shopper. So thanks for joining me today, Natalie.
Thanks again, Joe.
Thanks for listening. For more information on this podcast, please check out our podcast channel page at mytotalretail.com/podcasts for show notes. Total Retail Talks is available on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, and Spotify. Make sure to subscribe on our podcast channel page as well. If you've enjoyed this episode, please take a few moments to rate and review this podcast. Thanks, and until next time, this has been Total Retail Talks.
Put e-commerce control at the center of your business so you can sell wherever your customers are. With Linworks, one e-commerce platform, total commerce control. Learn more at linworks.com.